Well, the latest chapter in the fight to save and preserve a historical African American cemetery in Montgomery County begins tomorrow in court. The advocacy group Bethesda African Cemetery Coalition, better known as BACC, has been fighting to keep developers away from the Moses African Cemetery, which has already had portions sitting under an apartment building and a parking lot. Lionel Donovan joining us in Bethesda right now with the latest on this ongoing fight. Lionel?
Good evening, Larry. I want to show you something behind me. It's actually pretty hard to imagine that underneath all of this sits the final resting place for potentially hundreds of black residents, both enslaved and free, from as far back as the 1800s. However, almost all of that has been removed after decades of neglect and gentrification, which, as you can see, continues to eat away at the burial grounds. And now the advocacy group is hoping the courts will help ensure that the remains of those still buried underneath aren't disturbed. According to BACC's Segun Adebayo, the westward towers and the nearby parking lot were built over the Moses African Cemetery graves back in the 60s, during a time when black residents living in the area were being displaced. The advocacy group was formed in 2016 to save as much of the cemetery as possible and has since filed lawsuits against 1784 Capital Holdings, the company that bought the land covering the cemetery, and the Montgomery County's Housing Opportunities Commission. Marcia Adebayo says when developers dug up parts of the cemetery in 2020 and sent the dirt to a storage facility in Gainesville, Virginia, they found funeral objects consistent with African American cemeteries.
These are our ancestors who fought so valiantly for us. And without them, we wouldn't be here. So now it's our turn for them to come, for us to fight for them. And so we're asking everyone to come out as a show of strength. Let everyone know that we honor our past, we honor our history, and we honor our ancestors.
Now, tomorrow, a judge will decide whether or not to dismiss the BACC's case against the developer. And as you heard there, Ms. Adebayo is calling on the community to show up to the courthouse to let them know just how important these burial grounds are. But for now, we're live in Bethesda. Lionel Donovan, WUSA 9.
Of course, we'll be keeping on top of this ongoing legal battle, and we'll let you know how things play out. Lionel, thank you so much.